So this is part 2 of getting started, of getting lean, jacked, ripped. If you haven't watched part 1, I highly suggest that you pause this video, go watch part 1, because this part will not matter unless you get the foundation correct, which is through food. So highly suggest you watch that one first. If you've watched that one already, welcome. This is the exercise part of getting lean, jacked, and ripped. So throughout the video, I'll be asking you to pause to either take notes or to install apps in order to reach goals and targets. So for the exercise part of things, what we want to do is weight train. And we want to focus on building muscle while losing body fat. And the best way to do this is through weight training. So as we're eating and we're hitting our macros and our targets, what we want to do is break down the muscles. So then the macros that we're consuming are repairing the muscles, regulating our hormones, and giving us enough energy to sustain us throughout our activity throughout the day and also throughout our training. Contrary to different beliefs, we will actually be getting stronger on the way down of losing body fat. We're going to be building muscle, even though we're going to be in a calorie deficit. But there is only way to do this, and that is by tracking every single workout that we do and incrementally, progressively overloading. I use that term a lot, progressively overloading, because it is the most important thing in achieving when going to the gym. Incrementally, either increasing the reps or increasing the weight. So I'm going to ask you to pause this video and go to the App Store and download an app called Heavy, H-E-V-Y. It is free to download, and there is like an extra $5 subscription per month to see extra features throughout the app, but it's not necessary at all. What this app will be is to log every single workout. So when you get to the next week and you go to the same workout, you'll be able to see the week prior's results of reps and weight. So go download the app now and pause this video, and I'll give you time to go do that. Cool, welcome back. So now that we have got the app Heavy, what we want to do is now build our workouts. And so I'm going to just give you my training split, because this is what, after like many attempts and failures, and this is what I have come to. So what it is a 4-day split with 3-day rest. So I do 4 days in a row and then 3 days rest. And the reason that I do this is because throughout the 3 days, my body is fully recovering, and also mentally, by the first day of the split, I'm excited to get back into the gym, because it feels like I haven't been in the gym for a really long amount of time. So it's like a good physical recovery and also mental preparation, and it just gets me excited to get back into the gym. So the split that I do, it's kind of controversial. Lots of gym bros like swear by their own splits. It's not that I swear by it, but it's what I know. This is a push-pull lower upper, or push-pull legs upper. And so we begin with push. So when we're creating our workouts on Heavy, these will be the templates. So every time you go to workout, at the bottom, you'll click on one of the templates. And the first one that we start on is push. And so create the workout called push, and you're going to add these exercises in with the certain amount of set number. And this is just going basically off mine. So on push day, I start off with flat bench press barbell, and 5 sets of this from and you're going to begin with 5 sets of 8 reps, the most heaviest amount of weight that you can do for 8 reps. And we're going to try and hit 5 sets of this. So you'll see as you go down the number of sets. So say you get to the 3rd set, you realize that you can't push the same weight for 8 reps. So you might need to lower the weight, but make sure you're tracking it every single time. So then next week, you'll be able to either get an extra rep out or put on extra weight. So after bench press, flat barbell bench press, I then go to a barbell shoulder press, and this is going to be for 3 sets. Also, the break in between sets is very important as well, especially for big movements like bench press. I do a 3-minute break period just to allow my muscle to recover fully before I move on to the next set. So the next exercise is going to be a barbell shoulder press, and that is a 2-minute 45 rest, and that's just what works for me for 3 sets. After the shoulder press barbell, then go to an incline dumbbell bench press, and this is also going to be for 3 sets with a 2-minute and 30 rest in between each set. After the dumbbell incline bench press, we're going to go to lateral shoulder raises. So that's the next exercise, and we're going to do 3 sets of that for 12 reps. So with this one, you want to go very light, and you want to focus just on the muscle movement. You don't want to go too heavy. You want to keep your form really, really good and get that burn in. And so after that, we're going to go to triceps. So we're going to do 2 exercises for triceps. The first one is going to be a tricep rope pull down. What I do here is 2 sets, but in the 2 sets, I do a superset. So I'll do heavy, and then once I can't do any more, just put the pin up to maybe half this stack of the original amount and then just push it out. So that's 2 sets. And then the very final exercise for push day is going to be an overhead tricep extension like this, usually on the cables with the tricep ropes, and that will be for 3 sets. And you really want to feel the burn on the triceps on this last exercise. So that is push. Hopefully you got all of those exercises down, because you want to do the same exercises for push every single week. And the reason you want to do the same exercises is because you want to get better at the one tasks that you're doing. You don't want to keep switching it up, because you're not going to progress in anything. You're going to just keep moving from thing to thing and never focus on one thing and get better at it, which is the same formula in life. You have to stick to one thing and just get better at it. And it's boring, but there are rewards throughout it. Like every single week when you're hitting PBs, you feel good. So next will be pull day. So on pull day, I start with deadlifts, and I do 5 sets, going from heaviest all the way down to the lightest. And so you're going to begin with your heaviest for 8 reps, same as the bench press, 3-minute rest in between each set. Then we move over to lat pull down machine, wide grip. We're going to do 3 sets. Again, 8 reps, and this will incrementally get better every single week. After the lateral pull down, we're going to go to a row. So cable row, close grip cable row. And we're going to do 3 sets of that. And then we're going to move over to the cables. With the tricep ropes, we are going to do a face pull. So I think it's called face pull. So we're going to do 3 sets of that, and then at the end we're going to do 2 bicep exercises. One will be preacher curls on the incline, what's it called, kind of padding. And then so 3 sets of that, and then we're going to go over to hammer curls, which are my favorite bicep exercise, and we are going to do 3 sets of that. If you're unsure of how to properly do these reps, make sure you either YouTube them, Google them, or on the app there is examples on how to do them. Make sure you're getting the rep, the actual form correct. Cool. So next is leg day, which is everybody's favorite. So this is going to be on the 3rd day. So I suggest you take a pre-workout, get lots of carbs in, especially on leg day, because this is a big day. So what I usually start with are 4 sets of squats. Same rest in between. You're going to go for 8 reps at your heaviest. Make sure you're getting that form really good, getting down very low. 3 minutes rest in between. I think I just said that. And then we're going to go to a leg push on the leg push machine. So again, 8 reps, only 3 sets for this one, and 3 minute rest in between, because you can go much heavier than what you can on other equipment. Next will be hack squats. Hack squats take a little while to get your form correct, so be patient with it. Start off light. Let's go for 8 reps and 3 sets with a 2-minute 45 rest in between. After the hack squats, we're going to move over to a quadricep extension seated, and we're going to do 3 sets, same 8 reps, and then 2 minutes 45 in between each set. And then I like to do a lying hamstring curl. Curl. Mainly because it targets different areas of the muscle than what a seated one does. And I feel like I'm using more of my hamstring when I'm lying down. So also 3 sets, 8 reps at your heaviest. And this one's going to be just a 2-minute rest in between. We're getting to the end of the workout with calf extensions. And this can either be seated or standing, whichever one you feel comfortable with. I like seated because I feel more of a burn in my calves, whereas standing, I feel like I'm using more parts of my body, such as my hips, my abs, my quads sometimes. So seated is more targeted. That's leg day done. And then for the final day is going to be upper. And this is my favorite day of the week, which is why I leave it towards the end, because if I was doing legs towards the end, I feel like it'd be half-assed because I'm kind of tired towards the end. So this is all the fun stuff. So I start off with pull-ups, and I do 4 sets. Usually I can do like 20 pull-ups, but on the second set I can only do 10, and then 8. So yeah, we're going to do 4 sets of pull-ups. After that, we're going to go do a pec deck on for chest. So we're going to do 3 sets of pec deck. Also with the pull-ups, it's a 2-minute rest in between. Pec deck is also 2-minute rest in between. Then we're going to move over to an incline barbell bench press. Same 8 reps at your heaviest. We're going to do 3 sets and 2 minutes and a half rest in between. Figure out what works for you, how much rest is enough for you, or if you need more. You can adjust it on the app to your liking, and then find out your own specific routine. So after the incline chest barbell, we're going to move to dips, and then dips is 3 sets. After the dips, we move with 2 minutes and a half rest in between. Then after dips, we move over to a seated Arnold shoulder press. Seated Arnold shoulder press, 8 reps. Don't go heavy for this one. Focus on form, mainly because when you are doing the Arnold, you're using a little bit more of your body, so your body will fatigue a lot more, especially because it's the end of the week. So let's go light for this one. Aim for 8 reps, all 3 sets if you can. And then the last one will be a barbell bent over row, and this will hit your lats. And because it's the last exercise of the week, I like to do 5 sets, but you can do 3 sets. I always push myself to do 5 because I'm like, this is it for the week. So 5 sets, 2 minutes rest in between, because by that time I just kind of want to get out. So, and that's it. 4 days a week, 3 days off. And now that you've got all of this on heavy, you're going to be able to progressively overload. But none of this matters if you haven't watched the first video. The first video is most important because you won't be able to do any of these exercises, and they'll be pointless and go to waste if you don't focus on your nutrition first. So in the 3 days, you want to make sure you're still getting your steps in, 10,000 steps per day minimum. Basic minimum standard is 10,000 steps per day. You're still eating the same food, and you're not using these days off as days off, because these are still days on. You're just doing rested recovery with your steps and drinking 1.5 liters of water, still having whatever supplements you have, such as creatine, multivitamins, and that type of stuff. Just because it's a rest day, it doesn't mean, like you just stop doing all the things that matter. because the rest days are the most important. These are the days where your body's going to recalibrate and get you ready for the next session back in the gym to smash your records from last week. Cool, this was part 2. Hope you guys took something out of it and you have created a structured, tailored plan that is ready for you to implement throughout your week. Heavy is really good because once the rest period's over, it gives you like a notification. Beep, beep, it's time to go. And you get straight into it. It's just, you do what it says. You just go into the gym, you look at your workouts, you go, okay, today's a lower, click on lower, and it will tell you everything to do. And you can also write notes that carry over to the next week saying, oh, the last rep was a half rep. Next week, try and get an extra 2 reps in, or something like that. Whatever notes you want to carry over into the next week, which is why I love using Heavy. If you want to pay the extra $5 for the extended version of the app, you can see targeted muscle groups and how many sets you've done for each muscle group, and performance over, like, data analysis, performance over months and years of where you started to where you went to, and it shows you all different statistics that you could dive deep into and look at and improve the process if you needed to, which I love doing. So cool. That's it. Any questions, just reach out to me.